Okay, very good, boys and girls. We're down to our last word now that we're going to practice. All right, and what's our last word? Reproduce. Very good. All right, so let's read what reproduce means. To reproduce is to produce or make young plants or young animals. So basically it means to make their young. All right? Now, before we talk about this word, I want you to look at the word parts. This word has two parts. Re and
Produce.
Produce. I don't know if red's the right color. Does anybody remember what the prefix re means? Like when you reopen something or you replay something. What does it mean you do?
Open it again.
Okay, so what does re mean?
Again?
Well, just the word again. Right. Okay, now produce means to make young or to make life. Very good. So if you produce something, you're making life. But what does reproduce mean? Put these two together.
To make life again.
I heard somebody say it. What is reproduce?
Make life again.
That's right. We just put it all together. To make life again. All right. Now, how do living things make life again? They make life by making their young. It's not like we just make a copy of ourselves, right? When I have a child, do I just have a copy that looks exactly like me? No. No, because living things have to start young and then grow, right? So all living things have to start with the young, and then the young grow up to be adults. So every living thing reproduces or makes their young, but only living things reproduce. We're going to move on now to the next word, which is adaptation. Now, before we read that, I want to tell you that this word is called a cognate. Okay, now a cognate means that there's a word almost just like it in Spanish. Adaptation. Adaptation. Has anybody ever heard this word? Have you heard of this word?
Yes.
You have? Yeah. Can you tell us what it means?
It means when an animal blends in with other things.
Okay, when an animal blends in with other things. We're going to read what it is in English, and it's really the same idea in Spanish as it is in English. So let's read the definition right here. Adaptation is changing something or being able to change what you do to help you stay alive. Okay, but what did I underline right here? What does it mean? Changing something to help you stay alive.
The next word that we're going to talk about is enlarge. Say it, please.
Enlarge.
All right. This word has word parts. We've talked about word parts before. So this has a prefix. Do you know what prefix this word has? If you know what prefix this word has, whisper it to your neighbor. Okay. I heard some people saying, "n." If you said "n," then you are correct. The prefix that has been added to large is "n," and it means to cause to be or to have. So in this case, it means to cause to be large. Right, to cause to be large. So some examples of enlarge are like the pupils in your eye. When it gets dark and your pupil gets bigger, then that's an example of enlarge.
The next word is scientist. This is a noun.
Scientist.
Everyone, scientist.
Scientist.
Okay. And this is also a cognate because if I try to read it in Spanish, what does it sound like? If I try to read this word in Spanish.
Científico.
Científico, very good. Very good. So it's científico is a person, right? That's exactly what this is. So a scientist is a person who studies science. So funny.
I want to talk to you about is actually a longer word than what we've been reading, okay? The word is compressed, okay? And you know, this word, for those of you that speak Spanish, you have an advantage, okay? Because it's a cognate. And a cognate is a word that sounds the same in English and Spanish, so you could be familiar with it. Do any of you know what compressed means? Those of you that speak Spanish?
Sí.
If you could just tell me the word in Spanish.
No, compreso.
Compreso, very close.
Comprimir.
Comprimir. Comprimir is close too, but the word is actually compresado, okay? Algo que está compresado, that's the word in Spanish that you could use. But this word is really good because it's got two things. Not only is it a cognate, but it also, you can break it into little pieces and find out what this word means, okay? For example, let me write this on the board for you. Let me put the breakdown for you. You've got the word COM here, which means together. Then you have the word press, which means to press. And then it's written in the past tense. So you have compressed, okay? So this means together and this means to press. How many of you know what press means by itself?
Like pressing something, like pressing the ketchup.
Pressing or you know, or pressing what?
Press
Pushing
button.
down, press down, push the button,
my
press the
button.
button. Exactly. So that we could say compressed means to squeeze something together, okay? But even if you didn't know what this word means, you could look at the parts and kind of take a good guess of what it means. It's important to look at the parts like this.